Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. These are my end of year favorites, part 3. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today I'm going to be sharing part 3 of my end of year favorites videos, and this is going to be lips. I've already done foundations and I've already done cheeks, or like complexion products I should say. So I'll make sure to link those videos in the description box down below if you want to know what my favorites were there. I didn't try as many new products in 2025 as I have done in other years. So these favorite videos aren't just going to be filled with new products, but there's also like older favorites that I really tried to get more use out of. As you will see in this video here today, there is a lipstick I've almost used up, and I'm super proud of that. So yeah, there are just some long-standing favorites in here as well that I just wanted to feature here too, because these are still lipsticks I wore a lot in the year. So, and some of them were new discoveries this year as well. So there's a bit of a 50-50 split here. Shall we start with that lipstick then? Lisa Eldridge. Lisa Eldridge makes an appearance in my end of year favorites every single year, I think. I love her lipsticks, and I know I cannot be without Velvet Muse. So when I was in London, I did pick up a backup of this. I don't buy backups, but I know that Velvet Muse is very much on its way out. This is all I have left. This is it. Will I make it to use this up before the end of the year? I don't think I'll quite make it, but I already have a fresh one just in case, and I was very curious to see if they would be the same shade, because sometimes I feel with brands, if you buy it a couple of years later again, because I think I've had this lipstick for like 5 years or something like that, I was afraid that it wouldn't be the same shade, but they are indeed exactly the same shade and formula. So I gave it a quick swatch the other day just to see if if it was exactly the same, but it is the same. So I will continue to use this lipstick in 2026. It is my favorite, like, neutral that goes with everything sort of lipstick. So that's why I did get a lot of use out of this. But as you will see, I definitely rediscovered my love for another lipstick brand this year, which it was a little unexpected. But yeah, Lisa Eldridge, Velvet Muse. We already knew we loved her, but to know that I love her enough to nearly use it up in a year, I think is a good one. Another oldie but goodie. These have been discontinued. I'm so sorry. But this is the Catrice Scandalous Matte in 080 Casually Overdressed. Now this is a much more out there shade, but you can see I've used this. And there is a shade in the Lisa Eldridge line that's really similar to this. It's called New Wave. In the Insanely Saturated lineup, but this one I just love. And I have plenty of videos up, by the way, or other content with these lipsticks, so I'll make sure to have as many links in the description box down below so you can find reviews and you can see everything going on to the lips. With lipsticks, I can sometimes like change it up a little too much, but I still have places to be today, so didn't have time for that, so I'll just link you to the other content that I have. I'm a teacher, not a YouTube creator. So yeah, Catrice Scandalous Matte in Casually Overdressed 080. If you still manage to find it somewhere, it is absolutely wonderful. I love this for a bright, punchy sort of lip look, if that's what you're looking for. A new lipstick that I discovered this year is this Revlon lipstick in a Laid Back Lilac. Thank you so much for Lorraine for recommending this to me. I rediscovered Revlon lipsticks last year. Not that I didn't like Revlon, but Revlon is a brand that's really difficult for me to get. I can only find them in the UK in stores, or I can find them online at Zalando. And what they have at Zalando, I feel, are sometimes older lines, and I don't know, it seems like they just keep things lying about until it like sells out completely, even if the lipstick has been sitting on their shelves for 5 years. So I don't feel wholly good about like ordering from them for that reason, because they just have so many random shades on there that I can't even find on the Revlon website. So Revlon, beautiful brand, but very difficult for me to find because they are not sold where I live. That's why I don't try more Revlon. And when I can find them sometimes in the UK, all I can find is like this thin sliver of a display that has been completely picked over as well. So it's just a brand that's really hard for me to buy because especially a lot of drugstore brands are really difficult to find on websites that ship to my country. So just so you know, it's not that I don't want to, it's because it's practically impossible to try them. But I finally found Laid Back Lilac at a Boots, I think it was, when I was in London in May. and I've been loving it ever since. It's another go-to neutral. If I want something a little bit more mauvey that has more purple in compared to Velvet Muse, I wear this. I wish it was matte though. I do wish it was matte rather than this creamy formula, you could say. Next up, we all know I love a bit of K-beauty, and I love these Fui voluming glosses. These came out last year, but I haven't been testing them out in Honest in 2025. I may have featured these last year as well, but these are so beautiful. I wear Scotch the most, which I hadn't expected, because this is more like a cherry cola sort of shade. Not necessarily my favorite, but I like if there's a little bit of warmth in there just to tie everything together. This is in the shade Cassis, I don't know how to pronounce it. And this lip gloss, I've said this many times before, I find it's very revolutionary because you can buy it in a 30% or in a 70% intensity level. So you can go more opaque or more sheer, depending on what you want, depending on what you want to get out of the shade. And I love that. So one of them is just more pigmented and still as shiny as the other one, and the other one is more transparent if that's what you're looking for. So I love these. I really enjoy Fui. They are one of my favorite K-beauty brands. And I tried a couple of things that were new from them for, like, when I was in Japan. I was able to find like a Fui display in Loft, and I was like a kid in a candy store. I really had to like hold back and not buy everything. Then we have my Romand little, what are these called again? Glasting Melting Balms. This is essentially a colored lip balm type of thing. This has been wonderful. I lost mine. It was in my work bag. And this is one of those products that I keep in my work bag for days on end, because I just love this either for a quick touch up throughout the day, or if my lips feel a little dry. I love this. This is in Mauve Whip, and I found it again this fall as I was digging through my work bag at work. I was like, oh, that's where it went. So you know you love your products if you keep them on you at all times. So that's why I knew I had to feature it here. And then two products that are going to be in my beauty empties, even though they're not empty because they sadly expired on me. I set myself the goal in 2025 to try and use up these two lip glosses from Tower 28. This is Pistachio and Sesame. Tower 28 is a clean beauty brand that doesn't use a lot of preservatives in their makeup, so it expires really quickly. And it's why I sort of made it my goal to try and use this up as well as their concealer this year. I didn't quite manage to use up both of these glosses. They're about like halfway done, both of them. But I do feel that if I had just one of these in, I would have used it up completely. So I still got the use out of it, but I did buy these at the same time, so I knew they would probably expire around the same time as well for that reason. And I've had that experience with Tower 28 where I also like had to like rush to use up one of these lip glosses. So I love these glosses. They are some of my absolute favorites. These were in my Shop My Stash every single month. If I didn't know what to put on, I would put on these glosses. So they were in my rotation every single day almost. So I wore them tons. Would I repurchase them though? Because I know they expire so quickly and I didn't even get to use up both of these, even though these shades are perfect. Like if I could have just one gloss in my entire makeup collection, it would be this one. It would be the Tower 28 Milky Glosses. It would be. But because they expire so quickly and because they are quite pricey, and the only place I can buy Tower 28 is through Revolve, which ships with FedEx and charges so much for shipping and handling fees, I don't know whether I still want it to be, like, whether it's still going to be worth it for me in the long run. I mean, these were fun to use. I really got my use out of it. These are beautiful. I love how comfortable they are. They really hydrate my lips. I love the shades that these came in. Sesame is essentially just a deeper shade of Pistachio. If I would repurchase them, I would probably only buy one at the time because it's just, you can't use up two of them within a year. You can't. It's impossible. Even with daily usage and reapplication throughout the day, you cannot use them up because you do get quite a bit of product as well. I would probably go Pistachio because that one I've used a little bit more. As we were heading into fall, I was using Sesame a little bit more though, but these are beautiful. And then I'm not a huge fan of YSL. I don't love the brand all that much, but then I spotted their Love Shine lipsticks last year and I was like, oh, that is looking beautiful. This is in shade, what's it called again? 203. I think it's called like Mellow Mauve or something like that. Something along those lines. This is a beautiful, deeper mauve tone shade. These are, again, really hydrating. It's more like it's in between a lip balm and a lipstick, I find. And this is really lovely as well. I wear this more so in the spring-summer season, though, because it's not hydrating enough for me to be wearing it in the fall-winter season. I mean, my lips are even a little bit dry today, so this is beautiful, but it doesn't really work for me in the wintertime because of the formula. So I love it, but I can't wear it year-round. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to be using this up, but as far as I know, YSL has no issues with any of their preservatives, so I can potentially use this up in the future. Sometimes some lipsticks can last you years. I only decluttered a couple of my MAC lipsticks in recent years because they had expired, but I had had those for like over 10 years. So sometimes you just know it's good and it's fine. So those are some lovely things. But besides Lisa Eldridge, the brand I've been wearing the most this year has been MAC. I've been really rediscovering MAC. MAC is really having a moment again online, and I was like, yeah, they have so many good products, and then they redid their entire lipstick line last year, and then I did a video earlier in the year, I think around May time, I showcased my entire MAC lipstick collection with some of those older things in that I still have, but I also discovered a couple of other things that I really enjoy. My true favorites that I've repurchased because mine had expired, and then you know that you love a product, because I was just missing these. And this is sort of what kicked it all off. Here's Twig, another really good nude for me. But if you want something a little bit more cool toned and lighter and more pinky toned, I would recommend Brave. So Twig and Brave, I think, are really beautiful shades. And I sort of alternate between them. I tend to go Twig a little bit more so. If I want something Lisa Eldridge Velvet Muse-esque, but I don't want it to be as brown toned. I feel like Twig is in between Laid Back Lilac and Velvet Muse for me. Velvet Muse pulls a little bit more brown toned. This has a little bit more pinky purple in. And then I feel Brave is more purple and pink compared to Laid Back Lilac. Like, I know what I like. It all fits within the same vein. So yeah, those are two of my favorite MAC lipsticks, and I'm really glad I was able to repurchase them. And those are still, I was able to pick those up before they reformulated these. So I don't know what they're like now, but I did pick them up last year right before these were discontinued, and they came out with the new range in the satin line. What I have discovered though, I was looking for these like older lipsticks, you could say, and I was going through some of the content I did 10 years ago with some of my first MAC lipsticks, and I realized that I used to own a shade called Pink Plaid, which they no longer do, but I bought Pink Peppermint. This is, I believe, a matte, right? It's from the Maximal Matte Lipsticks, right? Yeah. Maximal Sleek Satin Lipstick, so it's not a matte. It's from their satin range. Pink Peppermint is almost too light for me. It's a very white-based, light, cool tone pink, but I love pairing it with grayish lip liner. Oh, that looks gross. Let me see if I can clean it up a little bit. But here is grayish lip liner, and there's just something about the gray tone, like the grayish brown tone of grayish, that's giving me that 90s concealer look, but without it being peachy. So that's why I like it. So this is my take on the 90s concealer lip, and I really had a moment with this in the springtime where all I wanted to wear was this lip liner with that lipstick, and it was all I was wearing. I know I put it on in several videos. I think I even showcased the combo in that MAC lipstick video, so I'll make sure to link that in the description box down below as well, so you can see what all those MAC lipsticks look like on. But yeah, I've really rediscovered my love for MAC lipsticks, and I think they are my favorite brand together with Lisa Eldridge for lipsticks because they just do so many different undertones, and MAC has really been stepping up their game and doing some interesting things again. So can't wait to try more MAC. I did get 3 more shades in the Black Friday sale, so got some more things to play with, but 2 of those are shades I used to own that expired on me. So, and only 1 of those is like a truly new shade to me. But yeah, I will be playing with more MAC lipsticks for sure. I love a good lip. So, but again, watch my Shop My Stashes if you want to see what I'm actually using, how I rotate through all of my makeup, because that's the video where I show you all of my makeup usage, what I pan, what I'm using up, what favorites I'm going back to, what new things I will be reviewing. So those are videos to look out for in the future, because I'm really not going to stop doing those. I still have one video left in my little end of year favorites series here, which is going to be eyes, which I think everybody wants to know. And then I really look forward to see you again in a new video, either on this channel, on my second channel, Floating in Books, which is where all of the non-makeup stuff goes. You can check out my blog where I sort of gather everything that I do online. And if you want to follow my coloring journey, you can follow me on TikTok. So all those links are in the description box down below as well. So you can find me anywhere, and then I'll see you again really, really soon in a new video. Bye-bye.